Today we're going to show you how to install a set of clutches on a 2014 Street Glide. The hand, brake, everything loose. Then go into battery power. This one here has 10mm bolts. Blast that out, everything's apart. Once again, all the bolts are broke loose. I'm just using my battery impact to finish taking them out and speed things up. This one does have different size bolts. Keep them in order. On the Street Glide, there's an extra shifter bar that comes in the way of the primary. But I happen to take off my heel kicker and just covered up the splines. It's in the way of my foot. Gasket separates real simple. No issues whatsoever. You could probably actually reuse the gasket if you were desperate, but I'd rather replace the gasket. So I bought it at Harley. It is a metal inbox right this way. Wow, that is really nice. I like the way this clutch disassembles. Okay, that's our stack. There's a friction with a steel in between, and then a bunch of thicker frictions and thicker steels. So the first friction in this is a really skinny friction, which goes to the back. Hardcore clutches. This is for a 2014 Street Glide, but it's anywhere from a 1998 and up Street Glide. They're all the same. These are the steels and lightweight frictions. The factory clutches are the same height as the new hardcore clutches. The hardcore clutches have a solid friction material all the way around the clutch, whereas the factory clutches are separated. So there's a lot more grabbing material, a lot more friction material, totally different material on the hardcore clutches. We're going to start, these are pre-soaked by the way, always pre-soak your clutches. You're going to start with the smallest and the skinniest friction clutch first. Install that in all the way to the back. Then you're going to put a steel after that. Go back and forth, clutch, steel, clutch, steel. Make sure that you don't put a clutch against a clutch. Did I say how easy it was to install the clutches on a Street Glide? This is the most awesome clutch install I've done yet. Really simple. And the frictions and steels are installed. And just so you guys know, this is a hydraulic clutch, no clutch cable. Super simple design. Well, we put a drop of Loctite. Nothing more is needed. This is the clutch. The inch-pound torque is 102 inch-pounds. That's it. Now we're going to clean the surfaces, install a new gasket, clean the cover, and put it all back together. That's it. The primary is sealed from the transmission and from the engine, so anything that you do in here is separate from everything else. Just clean and make sure that there is nothing in here to get in between the gasket and the primary. It is the new primary gasket from Harley Davidson. No reason to put the old gasket on if you don't have to, but if you have to, it's here. And it did come off pretty easy without any problems. I just like to put brand new gaskets back on. That's it. Real simple to go back on. The stuff I'm putting on these bolts is thread sealant. It's not a Loctite, it's only a thread sealant. Just a little bit of time. Just rub it around the whole outside of it. I'm taking these all down by hand until they're snug. 80 inch-pound torque. Just make sure everything is seated straight before I go to my max torque. The inch-pound torque on the primary cover is 102 inch-pounds. I always do it 2 torques, one at 60 or 80, and then the second torque at 102. Don't go beyond that, otherwise you will be stripping out bolts, and once you do, it's going to cost a lot of money to replace the primary. Make sure the torque bit is completely seated down inside the bolt, otherwise you could strip out the end of the bolt. No reason to hurry on this and damage your bike. Well, there you go, 1.5 quarts to fill the primary. You can go by ounces and all that, sit there and try to decipher it, or just do 1.5 quarts. Real simple. Derby cover, all I gotta do, 80 inch-pounds, that's it. That's it. Clutch is done. Of course, I still need to put the cord back on. And that's it. Real simple to go back on.